Yeah, thank you, Dan. Yeah, it was about profit taking because we have 6 that are up like from 20% and one's up like 95%. And I just don't know if that would be something you'd advise, especially in what we don't know what's coming with the Ukraine and stuff like that. Would it be important to profit take on any of those things? I mean, it's UT83 that's up the most. That's up 95%. And then I've got 5 others, 45%, 35, and 20, 22, and 22%. So, just wondering.
If you look at the bottom line of your portfolio, because you mentioned some things that are down, you're probably still in the green. You're probably positive, right? Your overall portfolio.
About 10%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, about 10%.
And what happens is those things that you have that are up become somewhat foundational, and they tend to, the longer you keep them, and they tend to shore up your entire portfolio. I say all the time that I have things in my portfolio can never go down, which obviously is not true. Anything could happen, but I can't imagine it ever going down because I have so many of those things that I've never taken profit on. And I leave it alone. I don't look at it. I don't care. So they continue to be foundational. So my strategy is not to take profits. About 4 times in the last 35 years, I have taken profits. And once since I've had the partnership, so that's once in the last, I guess, about 18 years or so, that I suggested that we take profits for a short period of time, which actually paid off very well because of what I thought might be coming that did come, and it lasted a little bit longer than I thought, but we had some profit taking as part of the strategy. But I emphasized then it's not part of my strategy. It was temporarily, but it's not something that is ongoing. But look, so having said that, let me say this, Chris. You can't make a mistake by taking profit. It's never going to hurt you. Now, you will be hurt by it someday, but you won't know that that's why you're hurt. And what I mean by that is someday when markets are just mediocre and your portfolio is down, you will be blaming your strategy and what you have for it being down, when in fact, had you kept those, you'd be a lot happier and sleeping better at night because you would be up. So I'm not saying that's an adequate reason to not take profits. The main reason is to continue to grow. So every month, stocks put in new 52-week highs. Last year alone, 70 times stocks put in a new low. I would say that, a new high, a new 52-week high. So when something's that high, it doesn't mean it's not going to go higher. It just means it's, high right now because of what's happened. It will go lower and it will drop. And if you feel that that's going to drive you crazy because you're looking at it and say, oh, I was up, X amount of dollars. Now I got, now I'm even. You will make it back to where you were very, very quickly when the market turns. So if it took you 3 years to get there, after it goes down, if it goes down all the way, it's going to take you 3 months to get back there. It's just the way it works. It's the way the cycle goes. So they become very foundational. But you can't go wrong if you take your profits and you're putting it into cash, you're putting it into other things that are down. That's okay. You're never going to get hurt by doing that. I don't want to say it's wrong to do it or that, you shouldn't do it, but it isn't part of my strategy because I'm looking long term. And long term, I want everybody to be where I am, where their portfolio can never go down. I want everybody to be there someday. So the only way that happens is if you allow stocks to continue to put in new lows, and new lows and new lows, because there will be a day when those stocks, as a long-term investor, maybe it's 5 years after it's put in the worst low, it's never going to revisit that again. So I would tell you not to do it. It's not part of my strategy, but I understand if you want to do it. And if you just sell off the profits, enough stock to get the profits out, which is okay. If you just do that, then eventually, if that's part of your strategy, you won't own the company anymore. And if you say to yourself, well, I love that company, it did me really well. But when you buy in, you're going to be buying in at a whole different level of high than you originally bought in, if you want to go back into it. So there's just a lot to be thinking about. And again, it's not part of my strategy, but I wouldn't begrudge anybody for saying, I want to take my profit off the table.
Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.